Hey, you're watching the DELoL show on DeepOnAir.com. And in studio right now, we've got the newest sponsor of the DELoL show,
Yay.
Cosmic Comics.
Howdy.
Guys, we got Jason Dyer, and I'm sure I'm late, young lady.
My
I don't
name's
know who you
April
are.
Rubino.
April Rubino?
Rubino, yeah.
Oh, okay. very
April
nice.
Libido, yeah.
No,
You got it.
Libido. That's what I was like. All right.
April Libido. That's as
You know, that's
better
a
known
good
around the
stripper
shop.
name, though.
I know, right? That's
You know what? That's a good stripper name, Libido.
Yeah.
I'm
April
gonna,
Libido.
I'm going to name my daughter that.
April Libido. On the center stage.
Yeah, that's right.
No, you see, I want to name my daughter like Candy with a K and an I, because the idea is she can't make a stripper name, so she can't become a stripper, because, you know, you have to make a different name, and who'd she be like?
Oh, that's true. Like, you can't name your
And on
kid
the center
Candy
stage,
Butts.
Sarah.
Because then she's like, well, crap, now I have to go into law.
Well,
Yeah,
I guess
right?
it really depends on what neighborhood you grew up in, because it's like middle name. That's the thing, dude.
Yeah.
It's the middle name
Yeah.
and the street you grew up on, and then you're screwed.
Yeah, which mine would be Eugene County Road 121.
That's
Which is a little bit weird for a porn name.
Now,
You
you
know,
see,
the-
my porn name thing, I always heard it was supposed to be your first pet's name in the street you grew up
and I've heard that. I've heard that too.
Because mine would be Dixie Thornwood, and that's
That's
not
great.
that's
That's
not a
great.
bad
Great.
one.
No. Mine would be Kitty Cole County Road 121. So that would still not work. I have
Just-
a horrible
Mine would be
voice.
Marty Oak.
That's actually
Marty
pretty
Oak.
good.
That's
Respectable,
not
right?
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. That actually sounds like a good producer's name too. Oh, did you hear that new Weezer album produced by Marty Oak?
Oh, Marty
That's
Oak
really
put out a
good.
new one?
Yeah. What would yours be?
Prissy College.
Yes, that's good. That is
Now
so
that
good.
Yes.
no, that actually sounds like a great
You've
porn
got
name.
motivation.
You're always 18 and
Yes.
or you're just into college.
It's
Yeah.
the
You know?
barely legal.
Yeah, she'd be
I
on
mean,
the better
you
end.
just skip the story about tuition, and it's all right there. It's in
Right,
the
right.
name.
Ooh, Dean, I can't afford to pay my tuition. Don't worry, I think we have something. And then they show you washing dishes.
Have you ever
For the next
have
2
you ever
years.
considered the fact that teen porn stars and little baby models have the same career arc? They're only good for about 2 years before they are out of the business.
That's crazy. Everybody knows porn stars can start at 18. You can go to about 27 or 28. And then they just take over directing and makeup.
Well, there
and
are
stuff like
submarkets of the 50, 60-year-old.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
that does
there are.
exist.
They- yeah,
There's a
Come on,
that's true.
gilfs.
So.
that. Yeah, gilfs.
Gilfs.
There you go.
This interview took a weird direction.
Yeah, I know.
So we sell comic books.
That's right. So let's
That's pretty much our
let's-
thing.
I can't.
It is not a porn shop. Just
Right,
despite
exactly.
this
Right,
interview.
yeah. Despite the interview, this doesn't have a lot of Ada Lee stuff.
Right, exactly.
So this is so tell us a little bit about Cosmic Comics. I'm guessing you have Cosmics there. Wait,
Yeah, we've got tons of
comic
cosmics.
books.
Tons of cosmics.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about Cosmic. Where y'all
All right.
located? How can people reach you? What's going on?
Sure. So Cosmic Comics is located at 728 East Marshall Drive in Grand Prairie, Texas.
Also Googleable.
Google able, indeed. We have been in business for nearly 30 years. In fact, May 4th, we'll be celebrating our 30th anniversary as well as Free Comic Book Day.
Really?
May
Yeah.
the 4th.
And unfortunately,
May
we
the
can't.
fourth.
I'll be wearing
Unfortunately, we
this
can't
shirt.
make it out there that day. But no, we're
For May
that's-
the 4th.
Oh well, yeah, that's
May
I'm
the
gonna
4th be with you. It's
yeah.
Star
May the
Wars
Oh
fourth
Day.
yeah,
be
there
with
we
you,
go. That's
yeah.
what we're gonna have to be out there for that. Well, and then the Return of the Fifth.
That's good.
People
That's
wanna do
good.
that
I haven't
one.
heard that
Not
one
bad.
yet.
So
that,
really
that makes my Mexican side very
you
happy.
should hop on. Yeah,
Return of the Fifth. Yeah, I'm in.
Then you should hop on the internet sometime, my friend. 'Cause that's where I got that one. So, of course, you're one of the new sponsors of the show. Which
Yeah,
we're
we're really excited
extremely.
about
Oh
that,
man,
too, so.
we're so happy. They had met Christy here a while back, the social butterfly, and so that's
Yeah.
how they got put in touch with us. And Jason and I have been hammering out the details for
Yeah.
quite a while now, but we were finally able to make it work. We got past the big wigs at the corporate level, both
Thank
here
God.
and over there.
Yeah, exactly.
Passed
And
in
we-
with the Teamsters Union.
Yeah, we were out there with the damn cutting up the red tape, being like throwing all that away.
Crossing picket lines, everything.
Oh yeah. So we were finally able to make this work, man. I'm super excited.
We are
so
too, man.
we're gonna be out at Yale's shop doing a live interviews.
That'd be
every once
great.
in a while now, and they're gonna start producing content for us.
Ooh.
Now tell us a little bit about what you're gonna be doing for
Sure.
the show. This is so great.
One of the things that we've been working on at
This
Cosmic,
means we get to totally take a break for like 5 to 8 minutes every show. We don't
Oh
have
yeah,
to do
yeah.
anything.
Just kick your feet up a little
Yeah,
bit. You'll be
this is gonna
fine.
be great.
One of the things we've been working on out at Cosmic is trying to really modernize our brand. I mean, because Cosmic Comics has been around for 30 years, and for people who are in the convention scene, they're going to be aware of it. They'll probably even know Mike's name, that kind of a thing. But in general, we're still stuck in like 1989 as far as the internet is concerned.
Silver Age.
And so one of the things we've done.
Yeah, I saw your website.
Oh
I
my
was
God,
like,
it's
Silver
beautiful,
Age.
isn't
We're
it?
the
That thing is a
Silver Age
testament
Comic
to the
store.
age.
You didn't even check out the website because I was almost like, is this nostalgia on purpose? Like,
Oh yeah, I wish to God, dude.
It was
There's a couple.
almost, it was
things.
camp. So
Was it at prodigy.net?
no.
Oh, okay. Listen, our
Global
email.
GeoCities.
For those of you out there, our email is Cosmic, KOSMIC at flash.net.
Wow.
Whoa.
No
Wow.
joke.
All right, I'm telling you what.
Flash.net.
You know,
I feel
my,
like
my
I just
production
got older.
company, the one that handles this show and the other one, does websites as well.
Right on.
I am going to get with y'all, and we're
Excellent.
going to
Excellent.
make that happen. We'll figure out a price that works for
That would be
y'all.
great.
But
Kicking
we're gonna
and screaming into the
we're gonna
center of the
drag
fruit
you-
bat.
look,
I want to be there, man.
You would not believe how many companies I work with where like some of the younger people are like, yeah, look, we just need a website that's like, burgers.com.
Yeah.
The old man's like, no, I think we need geocities.orbit.com / burgers that taste good all the time 486. You're
Well,
like,
I find that these old school small business guys, they kind of don't understand that internet equals money. It's kind of to them, it's like a giant billboard
at my
that
day
nobody
job,
looks at.
my day job took me 5 years to convince them to get the website.
Yeah.
Now we make like 80% of our clients that come in are
There
from
it
the
is.
website. It's like, I told you.
This
you.
internet thing is here to stay.
Yeah, it's not a fad. It's
So,
not going away.
I mean, obviously, yeah, we're ready to get that website up and running. But one of the things we tried to do, with what we can, is created a sister Facebook page for Cosmic Comics. And the idea is that we.
And what's that one called?
It's called Cosmic Herald
That's
Reviews.
right, it
or
is.
Cosmic Herald. at
Cosmic
Facebook.
Herald, yeah.
I've also got a G+ name, Cosmic Herald Reviews. The idea is that there's so many books coming through, so many crossovers, so many action figures. My goal would be to explain to you before you walk through the door of our shop what it is we got and why you want it, so that you make it a little easier for me to take
See,
your money
this is
behind
cool,
the counter.
Because I mean,
Yeah.
I know I have a few titles that I'm always going to get. Like for me, I'm always going to get my Green Lanterns. If they have a Booster Gold series, I have to get
Yeah.
Booster Gold. I'm such a Booster Gold nerd.
Invincible.
Yeah, he's a big
Invincible.
Invincible fan. I got to get also any DuckTales or
Oh, wow.
Uncle Scrooge. I actually have
That's
Uncle
awesome.
Scrooge comics from the 50s. And
Really?
before that, the original Donald Duck cartoon. I'm a huge Uncle Scrooge.
That's pretty awesome.
Huge nerd. I have everything that Carl Barks ever did and Don Rosa. So I have a huge, big ass collection.
So
I have
what
little
you're saying
figures
is-
from the 80s.
So what you're saying is we're going to get together and work on that DuckTales melody, huh?
Oh yeah,
Or you
dude.
get some Darkwing Duck.
Oh,
there,
I can play.
a little
I can
bit
play
of
both those on
yeah.
guitar and piano.
Righteous.
Trust me, I know.
Get dangerous.
Yeah, I'm probably one of the few DuckTales Uncle Scrooge aficionados in the tri-state area. I know quite a bit.
I love that tri-state
So-
area for Dallas, Texas. That's beautiful.
yeah.
Oh, I guarantee I know more than anybody in Oklahoma on anything.
There we
so
go.
that just takes that
I mean-
one up, and then I'm just including Louisiana.
We are totally fine losing the Oklahoma demographic.
Yeah, nobody cares about them any. Well, if they ever would get internet up there, they'd find out we're giving them a hard time. so this is great because one of the things is, like I said, I like my Green Lanterns, Booster Golds, my Dark Tower series, and
excellent.
anything of my any of the DuckTales or Dark
The new
Ducks or
Ninja
anything.
Turtles.
The Duckverse, as it's
Well, I tell
technically
you,
called.
for me personally, I'm a Marvelite, man.
Yeah,
I
no, and
can't
that's the
get
other
enough
thing.
of it.
And that's so weird because then this is where we'll be great because I'm a
Right.
huge DC fan and I'm a DC fanatic and you're Marvel, so this way
Yeah.
we'll be able to cover all the bases.
Although, I mean, I will be honest, I'm trying really hard to give it the benefit of the doubt. and
I'll
get
give
into
you the
some
5
titles.
titles you need to be reading from DC, and there's a lot you can ignore.
Challenge accepted.
Let's be honest. Well, no, and let's do the return because I've been
Sure.
trying to get in Deadpool, which everybody
Oh.
tells me is
I'm gonna say don't do it.
don't
Yeah.
really.
Yeah,
everybody's been
I think I'm
recommending
the
to me.
minority point of view on that.
Well,
but
I'm with you on this one actually
Okay.
because early Deadpool, when he was more of a side character and
Right.
half villain, half good guy, but he never really carried his own book for a long time. He was just
Right.
he would pop up in Wolverine books,
or
and
at best there would be
Yeah.
like a 4-shot series. You
yeah,
get a
and
few-
those were entertaining.
right.
But now he has his
He has
own
like 3
thing.
titles
And-
now.
and-
Yeah, he's got at least 2 that I'm certain of, and the one that I was most excited about was Deadpool Illustrated, which was supposed to be
yeah. I was
Deadpool jumping through all of time and doing battle with like Moby Dick and that type of stuff.
awesome with that.
But what killed it for me, man, issue 1, there's a dead joke in there, and it says, "Regis, throw me a lifeline." And I thought to myself immediately, I've got a 45 to 75-year-old man writing this comic book, and I don't think the humor's going to stick.
Yeah, I can see
So-
that one for sure. But one of the things I do like about Marvel is that they're the revamping of other series. Like first of all, the Dark Tower and Robin Firth working on those. The fact that they're
Excellent work
creating
right
a
there, man.
whole new, an expanded universe is
Well-
great with Kings of But also their Orson Scott Card Ender's Game series. I am loving those.
Well, I mean,
those
there's
and the
actually a
Torment
lot
Wars.
going on there. You're touching on some of the extra stuff that Marvel does outside of the capes and stuff. And what we've got is, like you just said, the big titles, Dark Tower and Orson Scott Card. We've had some Anita Blake come through. We've got some Castle. We've got.
Oh, really?
There's
Yeah, I
lots
know
of
that.
really. Yeah, they're trying to bridge the medium, as it were, of things that they think are entertaining on television and things that they think are entertaining in novel.
Yeah.
Castle's a really good example of that because that's 3 mediums. That's novels, actual books,
Right.
That's
Right.
comics and graphic novels, and then it's a television show as well. So that's the new trend in comics, man. You see it now with AMC.
And I'm not against it too because
Yeah.
what was it? City of Ember just had their graphic novel released.
Right.
The book is great. Not all the series, but especially the first one really is good. And then of course that was the movie,
Right.
which is fucking great if you haven't read the book. Fucking horrible if you have read the book.
Right.
Why are there giant monsters in this? There's something like I don't know if
Yeah.
you've watched the movie, but all of a sudden there's like giant animals that were nowhere in the book at all. But in the movie there's like giant slugs and giant birds and giant bats. And you're like, why am I doing it? And then I realized it's the same people that made Journey to the Center of the Earth. And I'm like, they just shoved whatever they couldn't fit into Journey to the Center
They
of
had
the
all that
Earth.
stock
They just saw that
CGI.
stock CGI and just shoved it over into this other movie. But otherwise, it's a fantastic book and the graphic novels.
Well, you know,
Great.
I'm hoping to see a lot of really cool stuff coming down the pipes, like what AMC has going on with Walking Dead. Kirkman's actually already been signed on to do Thief of Thieves. I don't know if you're familiar with that
No.
title. Thief of Thieves
No, I
is
mean,
like,
I know a little bit of the title. I didn't know that Kirkman was signed on to work
yeah,
on
man,
that.
they're selling that story off for production rights. They want to either turn it into a full-on movie or a franchise, or they want to turn it into a miniseries. So something like Thief of Thieves, I think they'd probably do better to take it the Ocean's 11 direction.
Yeah, I can
and
see
really give
that.
us a few big pictures there. There's some other books. Punk Rock Jesus, I believe, is slated to become some sort of media. You've got Super Crooks.
Super
Project.
Crooks
Crooks.
is great.
Yeah,
I would
One
love
Punch Kneecap
watching
for the win,
that.
man.
Yeah.
You know, and the Miller stuff too.
Oh, yeah.
That's I know that's it's Icon, but Marvel is releasing that too.
Well, I mean, you know,
but I mean,
that's just the trend for comics in general. It's like, let's write a story, let's produce a story, and then let's sell the rights for the movie, and that's the next phase
yeah.
of it.
Well,
So-
I mean, it is. I mean, Miller writes Hit Girl knowing that's going to be a movie.
Yeah.
He's writing Kick-Ass 2 knowing that's going to be a movie. And you know, I love Nemesis. I'm actually excited about Nemesis 2. I love Super Crooks.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm a huge like Jeff Johns nerd, a huge Dan Jurgens, which if you don't know, he's the guy that created Booster Gold, but he also wrote Death of Superman.
Okay.
Was hugely influential in
please.
writing all the Superman
Death
stories.
of Superman.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
One of the many.
Yeah,
Whatever
exactly.
they- yeah.
But yeah, he was a big writer of the Superman back in the '80s, and he's still working at DC now as one of the head writers, and he's fantastic. He doesn't get enough credit for what that man does over there. And then of course Miller,
Yeah.
and Robin Firth
Or
So-
Millar.
Miller.
Yeah.
Yes, but
Yes.
but what I like about Miller is Miller, and like with Superior, which is a great title too, is he takes a good story and he doesn't drag it out longer than necessary. You know, if the story's 4 issues long, like Nemesis,
Yeah.
it's done. If it's 6 for Superior, it's done. You know, Super
Yeah.
Crooks is 7, done. Oh, and the other one, Secret Service. I'm
Oh,
really
God,
enjoying that
Secret
too.
Service, man, that was
Totally,
awesome.
that could be a great film.
Exactly,
And
that was-
he writes them as long as they need to be. They take the time to finish them, and they put out quality rather than
Yep.
like every month when they have
And you know,
to.
Shouting this
you're
out.
touching on something here, which is kind of a bigger issue for comic book fans in general, and there's a complaint that with the big two, that being DC and Marvel, that most of their marketing is geared toward these huge crossover events, and it's not untrue. I mean,
Yeah.
you've got some titles that maintain their own story within themselves, but mostly there's a
But
lot
they
of
should
drive.
do it when you need it. The problem with
Yeah.
DC is it's every couple of years it's the Infinite Crisis,
well,
Final Crisis.
I can tell you, like-
Zero. Now Zero was great. Dan Jurgens wrote that one, which is still one of my favorites. And I did love Blackest Night. I thought that was one of the best stories written in DC. In
Rainbow power.
yeah, Rainbow Power.
About-
and
I
Decade.
just like
I
the
loved
line
it.
where he actually, Kyle actually references, is like, what am I, the Rainbow Lantern?
Yeah, nobody's wearing it. All
And
that.
it's
Yeah.
just like, seriously?
All the
Rainbow?
rings.
But there are too many times, like I'm rereading Infinite, again, and
Mm-hmm.
I just got that one Final Crisis, and I'm like, there wasn't a need.
Yeah.
There wasn't a need for this. They just did it because they wanted.
They
something.
needed to restructure.
So my theory on this is that the big two have to look at their crowds nowadays as a waxing and a waning. Obviously, the big goal is you want to bring on new readership. But it seems that what they're doing is creating too much for people to buy into, which is good and bad, because for a newbie, I could say, well, all you need is this graphic novel, that graphic novel, and now you got the story. You're ready to roll with the next stuff coming out. So it's not as difficult to go back to say, well, about 400 issues ago, Alfred was hanging out in the back,
Right. I can definitely see that. But on the other hand, like with IDW and stuff, like the Infestation thing, I bought a couple of issues of that, and I was like, I don't care. So,
Now,
but
correct me if I'm wrong, because I'll be honest with you, I'm not as strong on the indies. But if I remember correctly, that Infestation that you're talking about is where they tried to create a crossover that went through all their titles. So there was like
right, it's
G.I. Joe and Ninja Turtles.
right.
and
Well, what
like
they do is every year they pick 4, and I believe is that a call in? Hey, you're on. Oh, there you go. Perfect. Anyway, so what they do is I think they pick 4 to 6 every year, and some event happens that I think one was zombies, which I'm so sick of zombies. If they're not in a good zombie story, just don't throw them in there.
I was gonna say 5 Marvel zombies is too many.
Yeah. The Marvels.
The first one was
the
entertaining.
first two were good. Marvel and then Zombies 2, and then they even had The Return, which is good.
Yeah.
And then everything after that, I think
just
they're
got
like
ridiculous.
6 now. When you're having that duck character, and I don't give a shit about that. I can't remember
Howard
his
the Duck,
name.
he rocks.
No, it's that other weird little duck. Who cares? He's in like Marvel 6 now, and I'm like, if you're getting to that character, stop. You know what I mean? You're done. So
I guess you're not so happy about Rocket Raccoon coming back into the mainstream with Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, not with Guardians of the Galaxy. I would read a Rocky Raccoon. Not Rocky Raccoon. I'm thinking of Rocky Raccoon. I'm thinking of the Beatles. All right, now I want to see a Beatles comic. But one thing I do love about IDW is they got Eastman back for the Turtles titles, and that's the other thing. I'm a huge Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan. So it's like that and DuckTales. And I can play all of them on guitar and piano.
At the same time.
I love
At the
learning
same
theme
time.
songs. Yeah.
I grow
That's
extra
very
arms.
impressive.
Hey, I got an ocarina recently. I'm going to learn to play the DuckTales theme on ocarina. I swear to God. But they have done a great job of revamping the TMNT series. Eastman restructured the characters, changed the race of some characters. April O'Neil is a college student instead of a reporter, but it all works. The story starts.
I like the new Casey Jones a lot.
I love the new Casey Jones.
He's a
Raphael is way better designed to be more like the original movie, where he's darker and more brooding, and not just the wisecracker from the '80s, cartoon. If you haven't read him, man, that's.
I was going to say, I don't have a good compare and contrast because, I've got Ninja Turtle knowledge from television, from a Dan Wolf or Dick Wolf series, but not necessarily from the Eastman comics. So it's actually, you just helped me sell more books because now I've got this knowledge. And
I can
to talk
give
about.
you those.
I highly recommend this.
Yes,
series. So
for
he
instance,
started picking them up, and he'd come home with a new one, and as soon as he'd put the bag down, go to his room or something, be like, mine?
Yeah,
that's
no, you can read it
What's
later
really
tonight,
cool,
buddy.
if you ever watch the '80s television shows, I own.
Yeah.
Here's shows about me. I own every episode of every Turtles TV show from the '90s and the '80s. I own every episode plus all the movies
On VHS?
No, I legally downloaded them.
Excellent.
So, and I've torn through all them multiple times. But one of the things is, when they moved it over to the to television from the original comics, they had to clean it up because the original comics were gruesome. The first issue, they kill Shredder by chopping off all of his limbs and throwing him into a dumpster. Very first issue of the Turtles.
Yeah.
So that it's nice that this one is trying to do a balancing act of making it friendly and accessible to kids and so families.
But still actually ninja.
It's still ninja and kind of dark.
You don't carry 2 swords around and never kill anyone.
Right, and that's the thing. And what's great is in this one, to give Raphael that distance from the rest of the clan is, in the original comics, they were all wearing red bandanas.
Right.
So what I loved about it, and I'll give a little bit of a spoiler for people that haven't read it, because this should encourage you to go read it, is Splinter finds 3 of the turtles, not 4, and trains them all.
But those 3 turtles, remember, they had a 4th.
Right,
brother.
they remember they had a 4th, and so they all wear red bandanas to symbolize the loss of blood in their family.
Oh, wow, okay.
And then Raphael grows up completely on his own and befriends Casey Jones totally separately.
So
than
instead
having
of
him
really,
introduced.
he doesn't so much learn ninja skills. He learns that he
Street
has to
fighting
sneak.
skills.
He just learns how to beat ass. That's what that's what you do when you.
But he learns his sneakiness, and whenever people see him, they think he's a freak and either attack him or call the cops. So he learns to be sneaky,
Right.
and
out of
stealthy. So he
necessity.
kind of learns this street ninja as
So-
opposed to everyone else being trained technically. And then he befriends Casey Jones, and likes him. And then when my favorite issue of the series so far is the Christmas issue, where they reunite with Raphael right at the end of the issue before. And when he comes into the family, since they're all wearing red, his Christmas present is a red bandana.
That's pretty awesome.
And they give him the red bandana, and he ties it. And then everyone else opens their presents, and it's their colored bandanas.
Right
so he
on.
gets his red, and they transition from the old to the new by giving him the colors.
Yep.
It was so well written. It was unbelievable. I actually teared up as a
Awesome.
Turtles fan.
Little single tear, little.
I was gonna say congrats to Eastman for having a chance to get to reboot his franchise and give us a good nature versus nurture story.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
And it's also this reincarnation story of
Orokosaki
and Yoshi.
I can't remember his full Japanese
It's Oroku
name.
Saki and Hiroshi Yoshi, whatever.
The dude who taught
There you go.
Splinter, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, no,
Shredder and Splinter.
It depends.
Oh, okay. Right on.
Hamato Yoshi is either in the movies, he's the guy that trained the rat who became Splinter, or in the comics, he was the man that became the Splinter rat.
I
by
see,
Tetsuo. So
okay.
there's two different ways, but in this one, they all lived in feudal Japan, and Oroku Saki had his family massacred in front of him, and he had 4 boys, and they each liked the 4 different colors.
Wow.
And they all got massacred in front of him, and then he chops off Hamato Yoshi's head, and then thousands of years later, they're reunited as the Turtles and Splinter.
Yeah.
So it's got
That's
this
pretty
weird
awesome.
flashback to feudal Japan
Well, at least
aspect too.
it sticks with Buddhism, and it at least
it's
harkens
just-
to the culture correctly.
it really is a great
And
relaunch.
really, it's really only Splinter and Shredder who have these flashbacks. Like the Turtles are like,
have no idea.
they just call him father because Splinter raised
And they never
them.
really say whether Shredder is still living, like he's immortal,
Right.
or whether he's being reborn. So there's weird mystical aspect
Yeah.
too. And Shredder has a daughter.
Yeah,
in this
but
one,
it's a whole thing.
It's so great.
It's a whole.
So
I
we
like
get
that.
into
It's a whole. It's a
It's
whole.
a
So,
whole
but let's get off that
thing.
because we're talking about cosmic and
Sure.
in general.
And we can really just keep going with these
Yeah, that's
things.
Ninja
that's the
Turtles.
problem. You put me on Uncle Scrooge or Turtles, and I can go forever.
Anyways, cosmic.
Cosmic. So y'all are going to
Cosmic
start.
comics.
What we're going to have you guys start doing is a weekly. Here's what's going on in the comic world, so that people are a little more knowledgeable when you walk in the store. It's not just here's a wall of comics here.
Right.
Which can be a little overwhelming when you don't know what
Quite
you
honestly,
want.
it is. And okay, there we go. I just didn't know if it was on air, off air.
Yeah.
So, but I tell you what, give them how they can contact you. What's the website?
Sure. You guys can check out our beautifully ancient website at www.cosmic, comic.com.
Okay, and Libido, how can they reach you on Facebook?
It's Ravino, not Libido. I don't want to be forever known as Libido.
Too late.
I've been trying to remember her name this entire time.
No,
I just been
that's-
like, Libido.
No, I've been holding on,
no.
thinking no, I gotta remember to call her Libido. But no, because that's it. Make sure that she gets that when she gets back to the store.
That's gonna be my new moniker on my name.
Oh,
tag.
yeah.
Hello,
And
my name is Libido.
Yeah, when I tag the show and I put everybody's name on the bottom of the screen, you're getting it. But go ahead and tell us how they can find you on Facebook.
You can get us on cosmic.herald on Facebook, and you can see some of our reviews that are there. We've done Savage Wolverine. We've done some Doctor Who minis. We've done
Yeah.
a bunch of them. We just did one of our buddy Joe winning one of the Card Fight Vanguard stand-up challenges, which is a tabletop game that they play out there. And
Well, it's more of a CCG. It's a card-based game. There's a brand new one out there. You've probably heard of Magic, probably
Yeah.
heard of Yu-Gi-Oh, right?
Yeah.
So there's a new one made by an offshoot company.
I met 2 Marines last night that were drunk
Playing the
as
shit out of
shit. They were like, I love Magic. We're going to get together and have a Magic game. And they were huge. But Mike and Matt,
That is
Oh,
awesome.
two
two
brothers.
bald dudes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were just like, let's get together and play some Magic. You want to play some Magic with us? It's like,
dude,
God
Magic guys
damn,
are the
they are all
best
about
guys.
this.
They are a load of fun.
They
She's
were
right about that.
crazy.
You know, when I started up at
Partiers.
Cosmic, we started with 0 single Magic cards. We built it up to where we have a whole case, and now we've got Magic 5 days a week.
Oh,
So,
wow.
but anyway, Cosmic Herald Reviews, cosmic.herald.reviews on YouTube and on G+.
And of course, you'll be able to start seeing them here on the DELoL show
Absolutely.
every
I'm
week.
very
We're going to
excited
start running
about
that. And guys, we're going to work out when we're going to come over and do the broadcast from your show. It's going to be probably sometime. I'm thinking the end of May. Last Sunday of May.
That
We
sounds
have
good.
that one open. That will close out the spring season.
Oh, wow.
When we roll into the Summer O Barbecue or whatever we're going to try to do this summer for the station. So that's going to be very exciting. Well, I'll tell you what, let's take a quick break. We're going to come back with the Django Unchained versus Lincoln. Who would win in a fist fight?
Oh.
So you've been watching the DELoL show on Deep Elm on Air. We'll be back in just a moment.